Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today is Tuesday, February 17th. Happy Lunar New Year. We have a PD day today, so professional development, some meetings, some planning time, but we do not have students. We are coming off of a long weekend, so I'm gonna do a little weekend recap with you, and then there is a theme for today because I'm gonna hopefully have some planning time. My goal, keyword, is to check the box on some of the things that have been on my list that have not been priorities, like little things, or I'm like, it's okay if I don't do that this week, but things that I think will make a big difference in my classroom. And they're things that I feel like I should be able to knock out relatively quickly. I just never prioritize them because other things have been more important. But today is the day. We're gonna tackle those things. I'm excited. Let's jump into it. I mentioned it was a long weekend. We were off yesterday, Monday, for President's Day, and it was also Valentine's weekend. So I had a fantastic time. Now Friday, I went home and crashed because any teacher, especially in elementary, knows that Valentine's Day, it's a lot. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot. And I was so tired. So I went home, crashed. Usually Billy and I watch a movie on Friday nights. No. All I wanted was the inside of my eyelids. But Saturday was Valentine's Day, so we got up, did our usual routine, went to the gym, and then for that night we went out to dinner, and I didn't know where we were going to dinner. And I also knew that Billy had been planning a trip for our spring break. I didn't know where we were going. I just knew it was somewhere international and I was gonna find out on Valentine's Day. So for dinner, we ended up going to a sushi place that we had not been to. We did an omakase, which is basically like, think of like a tasty menu, but specifically for sushi. So there's like a list of courses. Usually it's like 1 to 2 pieces of sushi each, and it's all curated by the chef. So we had a fantastic dinner. It was absolutely delicious. And of course, at this point, I'm like, okay, I think that's a clue for where we're going. So I think I know, but I might not be entirely sure. So then we ended up going home and Billy had me try to guess where we were going. And I knew it was international, so of course, one of the first things I asked was, will I be able to check off any 40 before 40 list items? And he said no. I also asked if any of the wonders of the world were involved, because we do plan to go to all of the wonders of the world, and some of those are not necessarily on my 40 before 40 list, so I was trying to narrow it down. But he said no to that too, so then I was like, okay, it's gotta be Japan, because that's the only place I can think of where we've talked about going there. I wouldn't get to check off any 40 before 40. And he had mentioned lots of really good food. He's like, get ready to just eat this entire trip.
You're eating 8-year-old tomatoes.
Still good for another week.
And so he said he would give me like multiple guesses, and I guessed Japan, and he wanted me to put like all of my guesses in at once. And I was sitting there like trying to think of another guess, and then finally he was like, okay, yeah, you're right. So we are going to Japan. We're just doing Tokyo over spring break, but we will be there for like 5 days, and I'm so excited. I haven't had time to dig in and do a ton of research yet because I just found out that that's where we're going, but very excited. If any of you have ever been to Tokyo and you have suggestions, please leave a comment, email me something. I would love to hear it. Fantastic Valentine's Day, clearly. And then Sunday, my friend Valerie, who teaches world language in New York, flew into Austin. She was visiting like family, but she had been here about 2 years ago, and we got to meet like in person for the first time because she had found my videos during COVID. And when she came the last time, we just had a blast. It was so easy to make conversation, and I took her to all of my favorite like food spots here in Austin. And because of her coming into town again, of course we coordinated. We were like, let's get together. And so we just had ourselves a day full of more food. This time, rather than taking her to my favorite places that I'd been, I took her to places that had been on my list to try that I hadn't been to yet, so we got to experience it together. But we went to Mercado Sin Nombre, which is, it's kind of like down a random alley. It's not a food truck, it's a building, but it's just walk up. And they have coffee, and then they specialize in like masa products. So they make like a masa Twinkie, and they have these like masa pancakes, and this like masa biscuit blanket sandwich, and we just got a bunch of things and split it, and it was delicious. And then I took her to get kolaches because she had never had a kolache before. And if you are in Texas, you know that kolaches are a big deal. It's a Czech pastry, and actually when I taught my students about immigration into Texas after they had won the war against Mexico, there were a lot of Czech immigrants, and we talked about that's where like kolaches came from. So we got kolaches, we walked around a farmer's market for a little bit, and then I took her to a hot pot place here. I'm really struggling with my words this morning, y'all, I'm sorry. That I had not been to and had heard great things about, and she does a lot of hot pot. So I was like, great, we can experience it together, because I've only done hot pot in Beijing, and it was a great time. So had a blast on Sunday, and then yesterday was what our district considers a U day. So it was a kind of like a paid day off for staff, and it's meant to be a day for you to like take care of yourself, whatever that means to you. And so I used it as a day to just do all of the errands, get the groceries, do the laundry. I checked off some things from my list that were like kind of lingering where I'm like, oh, I need to get this done. I also meal prepped, and I need to unpack my lunch bag. So let's go ahead and go through what I'm having this week for breakfast, lunches, snacks, all of the things. As you can see, it barely fit in the lunchbox, but it's fine. So for breakfast, I'm back on a Premier Protein kick. I have lots of protein powder at home, and for a while I was making my own shakes.
Man, my delts are blasted.
But I wanted to change it up a little bit. Chocolate peanut butter flavor, my favorite. It's 30 grams of protein. I'm trying to get in more protein earlier in the day because I've been slacking at that, and then I'm trying to get in all my protein at night, and that's not ideal. So breakfast is a chocolate peanut butter protein shake, and then this is also breakfast. So this is just plain Greek yogurt with frozen blueberries, but as you can tell, because it was in the fridge, they've started to defrost, and then you get like all of the juices from the blueberries to add flavor into the yogurt. Absolutely love. And together that gives me like 47 grams of protein, I wanna say, for breakfast. Then for lunch, I did pack myself a store version of Coke Zero. Now, H-E-B's Coke Zero, or I'm sorry, Zero Original Cola is actually better than Coke Zero, and it's much cheaper. So I will have one of these at lunch, and then this week for lunches, I just did broccoli and chicken and barbecue sauce. So it's very plain, but my digestive system has been a wreck lately because I have been eating very recklessly, and I need to get my gut like back in check. So this is literally just frozen broccoli from a bag, and then I roasted some chicken in the oven, cut it up, and added it in there with some barbecue sauce. So very simple. And then my pre-gym snack, this is gonna sound weird, okay? I promise, it's delicious. This is cottage cheese, okay? I add a little bit of stevia to sweeten it, because for me, cottage cheese can be sweet or savory. Frozen raspberries, and then also some Jell-O, some like strawberry Jell-O. So I put the Jell-O at the bottom, and then I put the cottage cheese on top, the sweetener, and the raspberries. I promise, it's really good. But that is what I meal prep for the week. So all of my lunches are already packed and ready to go at home. And then for the yogurt and the cottage cheese, I'm doing 2 days at a time. So I've prepped today and tomorrow. And then on Wednesday night, I will prep Thursday and Friday. Okay, we are pivoting. First of all, my attire, my Costco sweatshirt and leggings. As I mentioned, it's a PD day. There are no students today. And I kind of reasoned with myself this morning. I said, all right, you can either sleep in a little bit, but then you need to look more put together and presentable, or you can get to school at your normal time and look kind of not put together. And that's what I chose. So just bear with me. But it is a little before 6 o'clock because I got here at my normal time. I do have meetings today. And then whenever I'm not in a meeting, I can use that as planning time. I should probably set alarms for when I need to go to my meeting so I don't forget. It was funny yesterday, Billy got a kick, or maybe I should say a quack, out of my alarms going off throughout the day, because I have alarms that go off when it's time to submit attendance, when it's snack time, when it's time to go to specials, when it's time to pick up my kids from specials, time to go to lunch, time to get my kids from lunch, time to go to recess, time to switch classes. And they're pretty much all the duck sound because it gets my attention and my kids find it funny. But Billy, I don't think he realized that I had that. And because it was a Monday, they're set to go off on weekdays. And I didn't feel like turning them off because I'm always afraid I'm gonna forget to remember to turn them back on again. So I was just turning off the alarms all day. But it was also funny because I'm like, oh, right now I'd be going to specials, and it was enjoyable. But whenever I am not in meetings today, I have time to get things done. And as I mentioned at the start of this vlog, the goal is to do a bunch of small things around my classroom that I feel like will make a big difference. Maybe not to you, okay, but to me, because these are things that I personally find soothing and they make me happy. And as I mentioned, they have not been priorities, okay? So these are not like the biggest to-do list items, but they are things that personally I feel like are gonna make a big difference. So the very first one is some relabeling. Now, I did already print up what I think are the labels that I will need yesterday. However, this was all just from my brain. And I was trying to remember like, well, what do I need labels for? So we're gonna adjust as we go. We might need some other labels, but some of these are just new labels. And then some of these are relabels because I want to change how I'm using some of my bins. Let's look in the cabinet, okay? Because that's stop number one. Okay, so this is one of my cabinets where I store what I'm gonna call my like teacher supplies. These are just the things that I like to have on hand because you never know when you're gonna need them. And yes, it is organized, okay? I understand that. However, I feel like I need to better utilize some of the containers. For example, cotton balls. Oh gosh, I can't even, this is what I get for being 5'3". Okay, y'all, it's empty. I do not have cotton balls, okay? So I don't need to have a bin for cotton balls. So one of the bins that I want to label is student stickers because I have a bunch of excess stickers and I would like to be able to store them away when that season has passed. Now, I'm trying to look. I have quite a few bins of tape. So right now I have painter's tape. That's all my like blue tape, and I do want to keep that separate. I have assorted tape, and this has duct tape, and also that's electrical tape in the back. Ideally, my thought was I could split it. So I will still need a big container for duct tape, but then I'd like to have the electrical tape be separate in like a smaller container. So I can use this same container for the duct tape, but I need like one of these ideally for the electrical tape. But this one has clear tape, okay? So this has like packaging tape and then other small rolls of clear tape. I'm using that. This one has Velcro and that's being utilized for Velcro. Cords and cables and cord organizers, those are all actually being used. Magnets and batteries are being used. Magnetic clips are being used. And then these are all like small bins, so that's not gonna work. Okay, so let me check the other cabinet. Okay, so again, it is organized, and for the most part, these are all being utilized for what they are labeled with, but I don't think, like I have Inkjoy pens here. I'm pretty sure, let's see if I can get this out one-handed. Come on. You have talents, Michelle. Okay, oh, well, good enough. It's fine, everything's fine. Yeah, okay, we're empty. So I'm gonna use this for electrical tape, but that means I need to move a bin over to the other cabinet. I think I'm gonna move, yeah, I feel like Velcro can go in the other cabinet. Okay, one other swap. I want a bin for thin dry erase markers, like the ones that have the real narrow tip. And I'm swapping it for this decorative pencil bin that is empty because I put all of my decorative pencils in my prize box. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put stickers in here because I'm dealing with a little sticker overload. Winter, okay, let's rip off this extra. We're gonna put that in there. Turkeys, done with the turkeys. That was from like Thanksgiving time. Ghosts, those are done. And I'm trying to stack them seasonally. We've got more turkeys and more turkeys. Again, we're stocked up for a while, which is not bad. It's not like stickers, you know, expire or anything like that. We're just holding on to them for next year. Okay. Valentine's heart theme, I feel like we can hold on to those for now. All of the new Valentine's ones, I feel like are good. Oh, penguins, that's winter. We can put that away. What are these? More penguins. Okay, Valentine's. We'll hold on to those. Ooh, I see more turkeys, yes. Turkeys, more like fall scarecrow stickers. Scarecrow stickers. These will get used, I promise. I don't have a problem. We've got like Halloween monster kind of things. Put those here. Okay, all right. Now that's nice and clear. And then we've got more in here. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. Okay, I can't even pick it up with one hand. That's very sad. Okay, stars are gonna be coming up, so we're gonna hold on to those. These are like random stickers. I think I got these from like my Secret Santa or something at Christmas. They're not all gonna fit. Oh my gosh, okay. These are flowers. Those are upcoming. These are general. Maybe I'll take out, oh gosh, there's a lot. Okay. Maybe I do have a problem. These are not, well, no, those are not gonna fit. So, what are these? Oh my gosh. Okay, these are all like scented. These I think will fit. So can we put these like in the side? Yes, yes we can. Okay, all right, progress. Do not let me buy any more stickers. I don't think I realized that it was this bad. Okay. Can we fit these? Come on, I believe in you. Maybe I shouldn't. I could probably turn some of these sideways and that would help. This is why you do this, so that you know not to buy any more stickers. And I knew that this was gonna be the case. I mean, maybe I didn't know it was this bad, but I knew I had a lot because I knew how much I had ordered. But again, we were stocking up. Okay, so these all, I'm just gonna organize and put the ones that are past time in the back. These are general, so I can hold on to those. General. When I say general, I mean like can be used any time of year. These are like spring, general, Valentine's. Ooh, fruit scented. Ooh, those do smell good. Okay, we're gonna leave those, okay? It's fine. We're gonna put these in here. That's not gonna fit. So school bus stickers will go in here. Okay, that's at least better, okay? That's more manageable. We're just gonna, that's fine. I love that the whole goal of this is to do little things that will make my life easier, but then I'm still kind of slacking as I'm doing those things. I'm like not doing it fully, but okay, student stickers, these are good to go. This is trash. Next on the list, I need to fix my bin where extra pencils go. And one of my students actually is the one who was like, you should have a bin for sharp pencils and dull pencils. Right now I just have one bin to collect lost and found pencils. I'm like, yes, I know, I should. So we're gonna see if I can find any like bins. I've got just bins of bins behind me. Kind of like how everyone has a bag of bags, you know, all those like plastic grocery store bags, you keep them at home for various things. I have bins of bins. But I pre-printed labels and I wasn't sure what size I would need. So I have big ones and I have small ones. First of all, okay, so I have like two of each, literally. I have big and small crayons and then colored pencils. I separated those from my other lost and found bins, so I would like to label where those go. I think I'm gonna use the small ones. Yeah, this is not gonna fit, not unless I turn them sideways. Then I also have big and small of sharp and dull. Poen didn't know it'd make it rhyme anytime, but these will go on whatever bins I put the pencils in. But let me show you what it looks like right now. So this is my current little lost and found area. This bin is for pencils. And I'll be honest, even though it looks a mess, and yes, we have a lot of lost and not found pencils, I have not had to get out like boxes of new pencils for a majority of the year because my students just, if they lose their pencil, they come over here and grab one. But as you can see, it's kind of luck of the draw and it may or may not be sharp. So ideally, if I can have a bin of sharp and unsharp, and then I have students that will empty my pencil sharpener each day so they can go through and like sharpen any of the dull pencils. This is like the general lost and found bin. So things that are found like headphones. And then this, I swear it's not actual peanut, although it really looks realistic. It's an eraser. But then, oh, see, we're not sticking to, you know, it's not labeled, so I can't blame my students, but these are supposed to be colored pencils and we have regular pencils in there. But this section is supposed to be all colored pencils. So we're gonna dig out those regular pencils, but then we have crayons, and like these colored pencils need to go over here. So my idea is to label these bins. This one was labeled. Oh, yep, it's backwards. Hold on. I was gonna say it has a label. There we go, lost and found. And then see if I can find another bucket so we can have separate like sharp and dull bins. Okay, we're just gonna start going through these and see what we can find. A mess, that's what we're finding. So I have this organizer, but that's not helpful. I have some smaller organizers like this, but I'm really looking for like a bucket. You know what I mean? Which I may not have. I might have to get one, and maybe I get like one single organizer that has just multiple components, you know, like maybe one of those spinning ones, and it could have like 4 different slots. I don't know. Okay, this does not have the right kind of bins, but underneath I have another bin of bins. What is in this one? Okay, so we have like a caddy. Like I've got black caddies, but that's not gonna work because it's not gonna be high enough to like hold the pencils. Okay, put this here. We've got one more bin of bins. The other one is like holiday kind of stuff, like what we use for our winter party. No, this is what we use for our winter party. Why does it say, okay, technically these are bins and containers. It's like this, but okay, well that's not helpful. Trying to dig and see like, am I missing anything? No, that's my little mushroom dispenser. Okay, well, and then that one's all transformation materials. So I do not have any, well, maybe I do in my closet. I don't think I have anything that's gonna work. I'm gonna have to like get something, but the labels are made, okay? So maybe tonight, maybe I'll run to the store, get that, and that'll be done. So we're kind of checking things off the list. It's a work in progress. Okay, so we're gonna pivot just a little bit. My camera is about to die, and I thought I had brought my extra batteries. Nope, no, I did not. But it's okay, because there's only one other thing on my list. I was like, I wanna get this done. And Billy saw it the other day, and he goes, what's a yarn ball and why is that on your to-do list? And I said, sweetheart, this is what you get when you marry an elementary school teacher. I came across a reel or something on social media where the guy was talking about having a yarn ball. So not a yarn ball like what a cat plays with, more of almost like a big pom-pom, but made out of yarn. And you can use it to toss it to students, so like to catch, to participate. If they're gonna read and pass it to someone else, they can throw it to each other. It doesn't hurt because it's made out of yarn, and it doesn't bounce like a ball. Like if they don't catch it, it just kind of falls where it is. And I was like, you know what? I kind of love this idea. It's not a priority, but I would love to make one. And I got yarn. This is from Walmart. It's like a ombre with various bright colors, so I think it'll look pretty. I read a blog last night that said to make these cardboard circles, because basically you're gonna put a piece of string around it and have it sticking out. That's gonna get wrapped around all the pieces of yarn. Then you put them together, you wrap the yarn all the way around it, and then you tie it with that extra piece of string, and then you cut around the edges, and it's supposed to make it into a yarn ball. I'm not gonna be able to record any of that because my camera's gonna die. But I will hopefully insert some B-roll of the yarn ball fully done, or I will just show it to you in my next vlog. But, well, I knew that was gonna happen. Camera died, so I'm switching over to my phone. But hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with me. I felt like this was a whirlwind, but it's somewhat not my fault because my camera died. And it's like 6:30 in the morning, so the day hasn't even really started. I'm gonna get other things done, but we'll just have to check in my next vlog, and I'll let you know how it all went, show you the finished products, because obviously I was not super prepared for today. Welcome to my world. Hi, this is me cutting in just to inform you that I did in fact finish the yarn ball. I'm a little too proud of myself, but let's go back in time for a second so you can see just a little bit of the behind the scenes that I was able to capture on my phone. Okay, so here is what it looks like before I start doing all the cutting. This black string is the piece that I went around this way and it's sticking out. So I know I've got to like tie that off, and then I'm gonna end up cutting like around the edge in between the two pieces of cardboard. And then I'm also going to zip tie it around the middle, but I'm scared because what if I just did all this and then I mess it up somehow and it doesn't work? I'm gonna go back and read the blog post one more time. The yarn It does repeat colors, but I decided I don't want the red. I like the pink being on the outside. So I'm just gonna stop there, but there are several layers and I'm just crossing my fingers that it's actually gonna work. Okay, I did it. It's all together. Although here's the aftermath. Y'all, I don't think it was worth it. I really don't. I feel like I should have just bought like a koosh ball, and that's what I just told my coworkers. But I'm like, it's my baby. I made this yarn ball and I feel proud. So that is done. I need to clean up this mess, but it did work. It was harder than I thought it would be. If you're gonna use the C's, the inside piece needs to be smaller, because as I started trimming the outside, it was easy for them to like flop back over. So I'd like hold it down and not let them move until I could get the zip tie around the middle. But yeah, I mean, the method worked. It's just the execution, because it was my first time and I didn't know what I was doing. I was kind of winging it, but it worked and I have a yarn ball and I'm happy. But if you enjoyed this vlog, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on and bring your camera batteries and I'll catch you in the next one.